What's good, Sixers fans? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II, and you guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. So grateful for you guys being here. So grateful for you guys coming into this live stream. This live stream it's definitely not going to be an easy conversation for any of us to have. This live stream, honestly, I was hoping for it to be a celebration of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Milwaukee Bucks. But in actuality, this is more so going to be a therapy session. This is going to be a look into the mirror, not just for us as the fan base, but for us as content creators, for us as supporters of the Philadelphia 76ers, and most notably Ben Simmons. We all know how this playoffs turned out. We all saw how he performed down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarters. We saw how this team as a whole lost their sauce in Game 4, giving up an 18-point lead. We saw how this team lost their sauce in Game 5, giving up a 26-point lead. And a lot of people say that was when the series was decided. After this team gave up a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Atlanta Hawks and gave this team all the confidence in the world. You see, confidence is such an important thing. Confidence can make or break you. Confidence can push you over the hump. Lack of confidence can leave you to grab your knees and rock in the corner in the dark. This team came into the postseason with a tremendous amount of confidence, being the number one seed, right? When you're the number one seed, there's expectation. With great expectation comes great responsibility. And I was under the impression that this team had the most confidence in the world coming into the playoffs, being the number one seed. But as we all already know, the regular season and the postseason, two different animals. What happened to the animal that we thought was inside of Ben Simmons? What happened to the dog that we thought this team was or had in them? Multiple times down the stretch, this team failed not only the city, but themselves. I firmly believe this is going to be one of the more turbulent off seasons that we're going to experience as Philadelphia Sixers supporters, as Philadelphia Sixers fans. I mentioned confidence earlier. A man who lacks confidence is not someone that you can trust, someone that you can go to war with. On the battlefield, you can't lack confidence. On the battlefield, you can't lack aggression. When you go into battle with your teammates in basketball, there's a level of commitment you need to have to getting better, because it's not only about you. It's not only about what you can get out of it. It's about what you wear on your chest. It's about what you got in here. It's about fighting for your guys that's next to you, that's around you. Your guys depend on you to be great. Your guys depend on you to do your due diligence to be better than you were the day before. You saw the level of commitment Joel Embiid had the past off season to his development, to his nutrition, to his conditioning, in order to make it down the stretch. You saw Joel Embiid making the ultimate sacrifice, playing on a torn meniscus in the playoffs. My man literally laid it all out on the line. You saw Steph Curry doing his thing. We lost Danny Green, unfortunately, and we missed him. We missed Danny Green on the perimeter. It was obvious because Steph Curry was getting torched on defense. But his offense kept us alive, kept us afloat. Him and Joel Embiid's offense. Tobias Harris fell off a cliff, was no longer efficient. Seemed like he was forcing things. Seemed like he never was truly able to get comfortable in this series. Doc Rivers allowing his team to get this far and come up so short. Not making the necessary adjustments. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am the virtuoso, the magnifique of basketball. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more basketball than Doc Rivers because I don't. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more basketball than Ben Simmons because I don't. But I know when someone has lost faith in themselves. I know when someone has lost faith in what they do every single day. I can see when we're running up against the wall and we're not changing our route, changing the way we do things. I can see when a team comes out flat-footed, lacking intensity, lacking aggression. I can see when a team has taken their foot off the gas. I can see when another team has all the confidence in the world. I can see when another player loses respect for his opponent. The Atlanta Hawks lost respect for our franchise. The Atlanta Hawks lost respect for us. When you allow your team, Doc Rivers, to give up an 18-point and 26-point lead in back-to-back games, Game 4, Game 5 in the playoffs, what does that say about you? What does that say about you? Now, sure, the players have to go out and perform. I have no doubt in my mind that Doc Rivers had these guys prepared. Because if you look into those games, quarters 1 through 3, this team was lights out. But when it mattered most, when the stakes got higher, this team folded. It's truly embarrassing to be the number 1 seed and be taken out by a number 5 seed. It's truly embarrassing to come this far and lose the way we did and fall on our backs. I was watching some of these press conferences, and Ben Simmons said some things that I didn't like. He said some things that I did like. He said some things as it pertains to who he is as a player. He said some things as it pertained to his game and what he failed to do. He acknowledged the fact that he failed his teammates. He acknowledged the fact that he didn't have it. He acknowledged all those things. But what I didn't like was the fact that he said, I am who I am. It is what it is. I am who I am. And it is what it is. Those are the words of a man who's checked out. Those are the words of a man who's already accepted his fate. So that begs the question. But before we get into the things I have lined up for you guys, how are we doing today? How are we doing on this Monday evening? It's 6:33 in Philadelphia. Super grateful to you guys for being here. We got my man Lindy Endzone in the building. We got Nodings in the building. We got Beast Mode 569 in the building. We got Lucas Hallman in the building. We got Almighty VJ in the building. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. We got 6 people on the live stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'll be so grateful for that. We got Eagle Slayer 95 in the building. We got Madden Playbook King in the building. We got Richie Mack in the building. So let's get into the things I have lined up for this live stream. We got my man Melvin Gilmore in the building. Shout out to him. We got Bold Brew in the building. What's good? But let's get into the things I have lined up. I have some questions to ask you guys, and that's going to also allow me to expand on my thought process. And I just want to pick you guys' brains, and I want you guys to pick my brain as well. But here's the question: who deserves more of the blame for the 76ers playoff collapse? Doc Rivers or Ben Simmons? Now, I've had some time to think about this. I'm going to have to say Ben Simmons for the simple fact that it was Ben Simmons' lack of aggressiveness, lack of consistency at the free throw line, lack of confidence that had this team coming out flat. Ben Simmons didn't take chances. Ben Simmons was so afraid of getting fouled. He was so afraid of going to the free throw line to the point where he became a liability to his team. It's one thing to consistently be aggressive and get fouled. I can respect a man who's still maintaining the same level of aggressiveness. I can respect a player who's landed out on the line multiple times. Did you guys know Ben Simmons only took a total of 4 shots in the fourth quarter throughout this entire series? Throughout this entire series, he only took a grand total of, I believe, 4 or 5 shots. He didn't take more than 5 shots total in the fourth quarter throughout this entire series. That's 7 fourth quarters combined, and he took less than 5 shots. That says a lot about this man's aggressiveness. That says a lot about this man's commitment to winning. If this was Ben Simmons' last game as a Philadelphia 76er, the play that will stick in our minds was when he had Danilo Gallinari on the block, baseline, in the post. He beat him. Lost possession a little bit, but he beat him. And he was within 5 feet, 7 feet of the basket. And the only person that opposed him was Trae Young. And you know what he did? Y'all know what he did. He kicked it to Matisse Thybulle, who didn't even actually anticipate the pass. Because if Matisse Thybulle actually anticipated the pass, he would have been cut. Matisse Thybulle didn't cut until that ball got to his hands. So Ben Simmons, in my humble opinion, is the most to blame for the 76ers. Now, when you think about them collapsing in game 4 and game 5, it's the point guard's responsibility to bring his team, to galvanize his team on the court. Doc Rivers, yeah, he can coach and say what he needs to say on the sideline. He can call all the timeouts in the world. But it's up for that team to stop the bleeding. It's up to those players to put up more points throughout the game. Doc Rivers coached you up all throughout the game, and all of a sudden y'all forget how to play basketball. Y'all forget how to get stops. Y'all allow this Atlanta Hawks team to outmaneuver you, outplay you, outmuscle you in the fourth quarter perpetually throughout this playoffs. Ben Simmons did not want it in the fourth quarter. That's a fact. That's a fact. I have so much respect for these players. I have so much respect for these coaches and what they bring to the table and what they do. I have so much respect for their basketball acumen, their basketball minds. But we have to call it how we see it. And it's with all due respect, Ben Simmons did not want it in the fourth quarter. He was playing indecisive basketball. He was playing with a lack of aggression, a lack of want-to, a lack of moxie, a lack of championship desire. Ben Simmons always says in his press conferences, yeah, we're gunning for a championship. But is it just lip service, Ben? Is it just pillow talk? Are you just saying what you need to say? Are you up late night playing too much Call of Duty Warzone? I'm pretty sure this organization behind closed doors was trying to hold Ben Simmons accountable. But too often, in the light of the media, they gave him too much of a pass. Sometimes sometimes a person has to be embarrassed before they're willing to change. Ben Simmons was embarrassed in this playoffs. He got embarrassed, and it started in the first round. They started hacking him then, and it didn't stop. But you know what Ben Simmons could have did to change that? He could have committed to the free throws, staying after the game, getting extra shots up before a game, getting extra free throws up in the days off. Now, I don't know what he does on his days off. I don't know. I don't want to jump out the window. But based off the product we've seen, I was at game 5 where we blew that 26-point lead. I watched this man go 4 for 14 from the free throw line. He has shot the worst free throw percentage of all time in NBA playoff history. Ben Simmons gave us the worst performance at the free throw line in NBA history when it comes to the playoffs. He has destroyed his value. If we even intend on trading him, he has destroyed his value. And guess what? If we do trade him, and the team does give us whatever they give us for him, he's only 24. Remember that. Who's to say he won't improve? That team will fleece us for someone who's a jump shot away from being LeBron 2.0. A jump shot away. A jump shot away. Are we willing to take any more chances on Ben Simmons? Should the Sixers trade Ben Simmons, or do they commit to his development? Because I was so frustrated that I couldn't even react to the loss yesterday, you guys. I couldn't even tweet about it. Couldn't even talk about it. I sat here the whole time watching the game with my arms folded because in my heart, something didn't sit right with me. And even if we won the game, just how much will we be able to compete? We have shown a lot of commitment to Ben Simmons. Monetarily and schematically. He came in this league as our power forward, then became our point guard. Then we gave him the big max deal. He's making over $30 million every single year. And I'm not the one to count a man's pockets. I don't like it. I don't like calling for a man's job. I don't like counting a man's pockets. I don't like questioning a man's heart because I can't measure a man's heart. I can't measure that. I don't like counting another man's pockets. That's not in me. But damn, it's all public knowledge. They say you're supposed to get what you pay for. But is that the case here? Now, some people are saying, trade Ben Simmons for this cat. Trade Ben Simmons for this guy. Some people are saying, trade him for John Wall. I'm not trading anybody for John Wall. John Wall is on the decline. And that's the unfortunate truth. John Wall is on the decline. And he's injury prone, unfortunately. I'm a John Wall fan. But John Wall, he's not an efficient shooter. He's more of a true point than Ben Simmons for sure. But my thing is, I'm a Ben Simmons fan. Let me make that very, very clear. I'm a Ben Simmons fan. Always have been. Always felt like he was the next Magic or LeBron, just based off his pure skill set, the passing, the agility, the court vision, the rebounding, the physicality. the athleticism, the full court speed, the transition offense, the defensive acumen. I am a Ben Simmons fan. And it kills me to even think about trading this guy because of his own undoing. Ben Simmons has done it to himself. He has not committed to his development, his own development, each and every offseason. He has posted all these random videos of him shooting jump shots, pickup games, this, that, and the third. But as we all know about social media is a microcosm of real life. Social media only shows the highlights of your life. But what about the lowlights? What about all the shots he's missed in the offseason? Not the ones he's made. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, you guys. Let's keep it very real. Outside of Ben Simmons' lackluster shooting and free throw shooting, he does everything. Everything at an elite level. Nobody can tell me different. Nobody can tell me different. Outside of shooting, he does everything at an elite level. Passing, transition offense, court vision, defense, rebounding, athleticism, ball handling ability. He does everything. Besides shooting, he does everything at an elite level. But it means nothing when you lose your confidence as a player. You can be as talented, as skilled, as tall, as athletic, as strong as you want to be. But if you lack the confidence to apply your knowledge, if you lack the confidence to apply your skill, if you lack the confidence to apply your talent when it matters most, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go out on the limb. All things considered, like I said, thinking about everything Ben Simmons does do, thinking about everything he does bring to the table, thinking about every single part of his skill set he brings to the table, it makes it very hard for me to trade that and just give that away for popsicle sticks. It makes it very hard. Very hard. This was Doc Rivers' first season with him. This was Daryl Morey's first season with him. First. And Doc Rivers has said today, I was reading an article. He pretty much said, they have a plan for Ben Simmons. A plan unlike any other that they've done or he's done before. He says, you can do all the work. You can do the work all the time. But if it's not done in the right way, in the right type of work, you may not improve. After being here for a year, I really do believe we've identified what and how, and now we have to do the part. We have to work to do it. It's not going to be an easy job, but it's definitely a job that Ben can do. He says, I believe, without going into detail with what we're doing, I believe we know what the right work is and the right type of work and the right way to do it. So, Doc Rivers believes they have an answer for Ben Simmons' shooting woes. But sure, you can fix him technically. But can you fix him mentally, emotionally? Can you fix him mentally and emotionally? Now, I believe we should keep Ben Simmons for another season because I don't believe this is the off season to trade him in. I don't believe this is the off season. The free agent pool sucks. Right now, you're not going to be able to find any real value for Ben Simmons if you trade him this off season. So the best thing for you to do for your franchise, for your books, for your team, is to retain Ben Simmons and make that man commit to becoming a better shooter. Guide that man to being a better player. This isn't the off season to do it. This will be the beginning of his new contract. It's basketball money. Teams have plenty of it. It's not hard to get rid of contracts. It's not football. So it was easy to get rid of a contract. It's easy to maneuver. Basketball teams have so much cap flexibility, it's ridiculous. But I do not believe this is the off season. Ben Simmons needs to be moved. It's easy to say that right now. We're fresh off the loss. But if we're going to trade Ben Simmons, it can't be this offseason. It can't be this one. The kid is 24 years old. I'm 26. I can firmly say when I was 24, I'm an entirely different man at 26 than I was at 24. I can firmly believe that and say that about myself. So I believe that this offseason, and we've been saying it for years, you guys. I know you're tired of beating the dead horse. We've been saying it for 5 years. And thank you guys for being here as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to my content, make sure you subscribe. Super grateful for you guys being here. But we've had this man for about 4 seasons, I believe. We've had this man for quite some time. And his shooting hasn't improved. As a matter of fact, when you think about when he came into the league in the summer league, he was taking jump shots. It's strange. It was just strange how much he was just taking jump shots, and then he just fell off the face of the earth with the jump shots. He lost his confidence. I don't know what happened. But I can't see myself trading Ben Simmons, knowing everything else he brings to the table. You can fix shooting. I'm not saying he's going to turn into a sniper. I'm not saying he's going to turn into a sniper. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you can turn him into a 70-75% free throw shooter. You can get him a 15-foot mid-range jump shot. You can help him develop his post game. You can help him do that. That's all skill. You can help him develop those things of his skill set. You can help expand his toolbox. But he needs to take a long look in the mirror and find out who he wants to be. He needs to look in the mirror and find out what type of player he needs to be. Does he want it? Is he all flash and no desire? But let's transition from Ben Simmons. Let's talk about the infamous Doc Rivers. Have we inherited the Doc Rivers curse? Have we inherited Doc Rivers' woes in the second round of the playoffs? Have we inherited Doc Rivers' ineptitude in game sevens, in closeout games? Doc Rivers leads the NBA among coaches when it comes to losing closeout games, when it comes to losing game sevens by a large margin. Doc Rivers is not off the hook either. Doc Rivers, you are not off the hook either, my friend. And again, I respect your play. I respect your basketball acumen. I respect what you bring to the table. I respect your pedigree, your lineage. You failed your son-in-law. Your son-in-law was keeping you afloat. Doc Rivers, in the fourth quarter, you failed. You failed to make the necessary adjustments. You allowed Steph Curry to get mutilated. And again, the players have to play. But Doc Rivers, this is starting to become a part of your narrative. This is starting to become who you are. You haven't been out of the second round since you had that big three in Boston. Kevin Garnett, that big four. You had a young Rondo, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen. You haven't been the same coach since then. You haven't been able to get out of the second round since then. There's something to that. Now, we suffered injuries. Joel Embiid with a torn meniscus, but he played on it. Danny Green was out with a right calf strain. That was unfortunate. That limited us on defense, especially on the perimeter. And that's exactly where the Atlanta Hawks thrive, on the perimeter. We allowed ourselves to be caught lacking multiple times. And I can't act like I didn't see Doc Rivers call the timeouts. He saw the bleeding. He tried to put a tourniquet on it. He tried. But the players weren't responding. The players couldn't get stops. The players couldn't put the ball in the hoop. Doc Rivers, this is your first year here. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt so much because we saw what you did with Joel Embiid in the offseason. We saw how much you have committed to his body. So I don't believe so I have a hard time believing that you struggle leading men. I believe you are a leader of men. But what happens in the crunch time, in the waning moments? Does your coaching become lackluster? Do you lose your aggressiveness as a coach? Are you afraid to make changes to your game plan? Like, how do we feel about Doc Rivers not committing to Simmons as the championship caliber point guard? In his press conference, he was asked blatantly, do you believe Ben Simmons could be a championship level point guard? Do you believe he can be that player for you guys here in Philadelphia? He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know. Now, me personally, that is a huge slight on Ben Simmons. Some people say, you don't say that in public, man. That's how your guy checks out. But excuse me, the damage is done. The damage is done. Ben Simmons has already been hurt mentally. So it's nothing Doc Rivers can say in a press conference that can make it already worse. He needs to hear this. I'm a firm believer that at some point, a man needs to be embarrassed before he can change. Ben Simmons did not please me in his press conference. I am who I am. It is what it is. Huh? I don't blame Doc Rivers for not committing to Ben Simmons. Because for one, he don't make the general manager moves. That's Daryl Morey and Elton Brand, respectively. So he don't make those moves. But what he can say is this guy didn't play up to par. Now it's interesting because he's been campaigning for Ben Simmons in public all season long. He's been saying, without a doubt, and the footage is out there, if you guys believe I'm going to take Ben Simmons off the court, then you guys don't know basketball. And he's right. He's right. Ben Simmons does so many things at an elite level. It's hard to just take him off the court because then you're hoping for dead balls to get him back in the game on defensive possessions. Who has time to keep playing chess with your starting point guard? This is the last thing we needed. This is the last thing we need to think about. Can our point guard make his free throws? We don't need that level of stress. So it always goes back to Ben Simmons' lack of preparation, lack of commitment to his game. Because if Ben Simmons can make at least 70% of his free throws, we win the series. We win the series. How do we feel about Joel Embiid calling out Ben Simmons in his press conference? I don't blame him either. Joel Embiid made it very clear. He said, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like the turning point of the game was when we had an open shot in the paint. We didn't take the shot. We passed the ball for the free throws. We missed one of the free throws. Atlanta Hawks go down the court, shoot a three, make it a 4-point lead. He felt like that was the turning point in the game. And I don't blame him for saying that. But I felt like the turning point of the series was in game 5. The series was already hanging on by a thread. But that was a defining moment for Ben Simmons. That was defining. We got 10 people on the live stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. That was a defining moment. We all saw it. This man passed up a wide open dunk because he thought Danilo Gallinari was trailing him. Danilo Gallinari wasn't taking that risk. And then Trae Young wasn't jumping. He thought you was going to go up. Matisse Thybulle didn't expect the pass. The shit is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So, do you guys believe Ben Simmons has lost the trust of Philadelphia and his teammates? And if so, can he earn it back? Do you guys believe Ben Simmons can earn the trust of this city and his teammates back? Because Shaq said it. Y'all bringing up good points in this live chat. I love it. Y'all bringing up great points in this live stream. Shaq said it. Shaq said, if I was in the locker room, I would have knocked his ass out. You don't do that to your team, man. You don't not show up on offense. It was like we was playing 5-on-4 basketball every game. I'm exhausted by all this. I'm exhausted by the misfortune. This city deserves better. His teammates deserve better. He failed his teammates. You are the second best player on the team. The team looks for you to set the tone as the point guard, as the leader. This team looks for you to set the tone on offense and defense. Sure, he had double-digit assists. But so what? You couldn't put the ball in the hoop, son. Sure, at times the bench didn't show up. But you are the starter. It's your job to carry this team and galvanize this team and make sure everybody's still in it. But you couldn't even keep yourself in the game. You was passing up the ball mid. I've never seen Ben Simmons pass the ball before he get to half court. He was passing the ball to Joel Embiid in transition because he was afraid they would foul him. This is mind-boggling. It's baffling. Like I've been saying for you guys, I'm so ready for football, but we got some more to talk about in this live stream before we get out of here. I believe Ben Simmons has lost the trust of his teammates, but it's going to be extremely difficult, if it's even possible, to recover from this debacle we've experienced. I'm flabbergasted. It's going to take all of him. It's going to take all of him. Every fabric of Ben Simmons' being to become the player he needs to be, to gain the trust of this city back, to gain the trust of his teammates and his staff back. At this point, teams are going to just foul Ben Simmons just to take away possessions. They're going to sub in a ringer and then just make them foul, and then sub back in and start get their possession back. This team wasn't prepared for the Atlanta Hawks. They just weren't. After game 1, we got punched in the mouth. Game 2 and 3, I thought we had the answers. I thought we had the answers to the tests. I thought we had the cheat code. But credit to Nate McMillan. Credit to Nate McMillan, the head coach, the interim head coach, soon to be head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. Kudos to Nate McMillan. I got to give that brother his respect, that OG his respect. That OG coached his ass off. That OG coached his behind off. That team was dead in the water when he became the interim head coach. And he turned them around, had them become one of the best fourth quarter teams in the NBA. And it showed in his playoff series. Had them become one of the better defensive teams. It showed in his playoff series. Ben Simmons has a lot of soul searching to do. A lot of soul searching to do. But again, I'm of the ilk that this is not the off season to trade Ben Simmons. I'm of the ilk. Drill that man. Drill him. Shooting drills all day. Free throw drills all day. Getting comfortable in the face of adversity. Getting with a psychologist. As a matter of fact, I was watching No Chill Gil. I was watching the No Chill Gil podcast with Gilbert Arenas, and he talked about that series, that playoff series where they went against the Cavaliers, and all he had to do was make the game-sealing free throws to win the game in overtime against LeBron's Cavaliers. And when he went to the free throw line, LeBron walked past him and tapped him on the chest. And you know what he said to him? He said, if you miss these, we win in the game, right? He said, if you miss these, we win in the game, right? And lo and behold, Gilbert Arenas allowed LeBron to get in his head. He missed the free throws, and the Cavaliers won the series, won the game. You know what Gilbert Arenas said he did after that? That offseason, he got with a special ops guy, a military guy, a guy that specializes in mental fortitude, mental acumen, make sure guys are strong mentally, emotionally, in the face of danger, in the face of adversity. He got with a special ops guy to make sure he was sharp and he will never ever fold like that under pressure again. That's what Ben Simmons needs to do. Ben Simmons needs to get with a special ops guy. He needs to get with a military guy to drill him, to put him through the ringer, to make sure that man will never ever fold under pressure again. But that's on Ben Simmons. Is he committed? Is he committed? We're going to find out, because I don't believe this is the right offseason to trade him. I don't think this is the right offseason to move on from him. I don't think this is the offseason to do so. The free agent market isn't sexy enough. The trade market isn't going to be sexy enough. If anything, if we do plan on trading him, we need to find a way to increase his value. Because his value is shot, you guys. If we trade him now, we're not going to get anything for him. We're not going to get anything. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to go to another team, and another team is going to crack the code, and then he's going to be flourishing. And it's going to piss me the hell off. So I don't think this is the off season to do so. I understand we are fresh off of pulling the Band-Aid. We're fresh off of it. But we have to breathe. We can acknowledge two truths. That Simmons has a lot of work to do, but also the fact that this may not be the off season to move on from him. But transitioning from Ben Simmons, how long do we have Joel Embiid in his prime? Because at this rate, we're wasting precious time. We're wasting precious time. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a 7-footer. Joel Embiid is 7 feet, 280 pounds. Has been in the NBA for 5 seasons. If you wanna include the injury seasons, he's been in the league for 7 years. He's a veteran. But the 2014 and 2015 seasons don't count because he didn't play because of the foot injury, right? So he technically didn't resume basketball activity until the age of 22. Got a late start. But man was that boy dominant. Man was that boy dominant. Joel Embiid is 27 years old. He's older than me. Let's be real. Joel Embiid is 27. Considering his injury history, considering everything we know about his size, the way he plays the game, his window at being able to play at this intensity, at this level, is only about 3 years. 3 years. 2 to 3 years max. And then we're gonna start then he's gonna cross that hill, go over that hill, and then he's gonna start to decline. He's gonna get slower. Now, the saving grace for Joel Embiid's development, the saving grace for Joel Embiid as he grows into a older athlete is the fact that he actually can shoot free throws. He has a beautiful mid-range shot. He can shoot the three-pointer. So if anything, as he gets deeper into his career, he can lose weight, become a little bit more lighter on his feet, take some pressure off his knees, and then he can turn into a stretch five. A stretch five that can get to the low post and get what he wants. Don't expect him to be as athletic as he is now. But definitely, most definitely, I believe Joel Embiid, being in this level of dominance, this prime window, 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe, but 3 years most definitely in his prime. But like I said, the fact that he has such a beautiful mid-range shot, the fact that he's so skilled in the post, on the low block, on the baseline, in the paint, at the elbow, the fact that he has such skill, I believe he's going to be very, very, very dominant in this NBA for quite some time. But he's not going to be in his prime forever just because of health. If he can take some weight off his knees, if he can take some weight off his body, then he'll be fine. But damn, playing on a torn meniscus. As a matter of fact, when you think about it, how far could Embiid have made it through the playoffs with that torn meniscus? Would we really have trusted the rest of this roster to carry us to the promised land? Hell no. So as a matter of fact, the Atlanta Hawks put us out of our misery. But best believe, I'm rocking to the wheels fall off, baby. I'm going to support Joel Embiid. I'm going to support Ben Simmons. I'm going to support these guys. But how can this 76ers team take the next step in building a championship caliber roster? For one, we need to surround Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons with more legit shooters. I'm sorry. This team showed their age too often. Dwight Howard, Danny Green. We need to fortify this bench. Too often we was going 10 deep. We have Seth Curry for another season. Seth Curry was doing amazing. Seth Curry, how many more years do we have him in his prime? This 76ers team needs to do everything in their being, in the fiber of their franchise. They need to do everything to fix Ben Simmons, to continue on the path of Joel Embiid's conditioning, and to fill this roster with offensive talent, with a legit ball handler that can score on all 3 levels. Because we lacked that. We lacked a guard who can score on all 3 levels at a consistent clip, and that can get to any shot at any point. You want to know the difference between the Atlanta Hawks and us in this playoffs? They had more guys that were able to get to their spots, more guys that were able to get to their shot, more guys that were able to create their own shot, more guys that were fearless, and they were younger. We need to find a way. We need to find a legit ball handler, a legit guard who can create his own shot on all 3 levels. Tobias Harris, unfortunately, can't he can't his repertoire when it comes to creating his own shot is limited. He doesn't have the most ball handling ability. He doesn't have the most skills in his toolbox when it comes to ball handling. Tobias Harris is limited when it comes to creating his own shot. He can create it on the baseline. He can create it off the block. He has a beautiful shot coming off of the pick, shooting at the elbow. Tobias Harris is very skilled, but Tobias Harris can't be the guy can't be the starter leading the second unit. He can't be the main ball handler because he's the starter. We need to find a legit guard, a legit wing that can handle the ball and that can score on all three levels. So that begs the question. What will be Daryl Morey's first move of the offseason? A lot of people are saying, go after Zach LaVine. Find a way to get Zach LaVine in the building. Some people are saying, find a way to get CJ McCollum in the building. The options are limited. But we all know Daryl Morey is a virtuoso when it comes to making deals. We all know that Daryl Morey, he knows how to talk the talk and walk the walk. And he knows how to make a deal happen. Now the question is, who's going to get moves? Who's going to get traded? What's going to happen? Who's on the chopping block? Let's be honest. Tyrese Maxey showed me beautiful things this postseason. Tyrese Maxey, we struck gold with him. He's going to grow to become something special. Special. If he can become a legit threat on all three levels, because he's shown that he can score on all three levels, just not at a consistent enough clip. He's a rookie. He's going to learn more nuanced ways to score. But I believe we have something in Tyrese Maxey. We have something in that young man. Tyrese Maxey is coming. Tyrese Maxey is only going to get better. I believe Tyrese Maxey is one of those players that's committed to getting better. He's not afraid of the moment. Tyrese Maxey is big time. He's big time. So don't get it twisted. Don't be surprised if we make a move this offseason to get another guard. Don't be surprised if Shake Milton is gone. Danny Green, his contract just expired. Dwight Howard, contract expired. Korkmaz, contract will expire. Will he return? A lot of questions, you guys. A lot of questions and not enough answers. But I'll leave it at that. I am your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And you guys have been locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. The Philadelphia 76ers postseason has come to a bitter end. What's next for the Philadelphia 76ers? Is this the end of a saga? Is this the end of the Ben Simmons era? Just how long do we have Joel Embiid at his prime? What will be the first move that Daryl Morey does to get this team back on track? Can Doc Rivers change his fortune in the playoffs? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. One love. Stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. And let's go Sixers.